Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Anno 117 Pax Romana. We are continuing our little let's play as we figure things out and I kind of help you learn the basics of the game while you guys wait for release. So thank you so much for choosing to be with me. If you enjoy this type of content, as always, let me know by giving the video a like and commenting down below. All right, today we are finally going to get into island expansion. We have plenty of money. I'm going to pause here for a minute. We have plenty of income, and we do have quite a bit of goods to be able to do it. So we're going to start today off by doing exactly that. Now, our military ship is over here. We were worrying about completing those assignments. We're going to rock on over here. We're going to work on a little bit of building up of our fleet, because it is the building up of our fleet that will allow us to initiate trade with at least one of these two factions. We could see here that, oh, I can never remember her name. I can't remember her name. We could go over to here real quick. Zara, maybe? There we go. Zara has already established a new place over here and has taken, quite honestly, the best spot. This is the one that we really could have used more and to establish lavender for soap. We could have done resin for our amphora and olive for our olive oil. And as such, what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to colonize the only other island that makes sense for us to colonize, and that is going to be this island right here. We do need to get our resin and olive up and running well, and then also eventually we could do flax for whatever that's needed, or an oyster population way down the road. So we're going to settle this island. I would love to try and settle this island. Honestly, I could probably claim it. I wonder how much it would cost to claim. And that actually is what we might do, because I really do want this island. It's got the only other lavender. It has gold ore, which we could use in the future. And I honestly don't think there's another island that has it. This is great. But yeah, no, we definitely need to claim this island. And I really hope that this guy right here isn't going to go do it. So what we're going to do is we are going to go claim this island first. Then we're going to claim this island and actually build on it. That's going to give us a little bit of time for our guys over here to build up their timber, build up some tiles. To be honest, we could probably do some more tile production to get that running pretty quickly. We'll see. We'll see if we end up needing it. And then eventually we do want to get our weapons productions up and running as well, because I think that's going to be pretty darn essential. In terms of how everything looks, we do have some good island fire safety. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Our health is not in a great position. In fact, there's a chance that some could catch some diseases, so we are going to... looks like we have our Medici all well and good. Is this even worth it? I don't know that it is for the price. We could go ahead and put one here, just to counter it for a little bit, but we are researching latrines in our second thing, which will allow us those smaller buildings that we can use to flush things out, basically. Looking over here, what else do we need to do? We can go ahead and do a repair crane. I don't really know that we need this. We are going to focus on a little more military today, but not quite yet. Maybe we could go down the trireme route. That would allow us to be a little more efficient and a little more effective in some of the bigger ships, should we go and do some warfare things. All right, this is going to cost us a pretty penny. I'm not ready to do that yet, because I actually can't fulfill everything that needs fulfilled to level up our people if I go here. I would like to know how much it costs over here. It's probably going to be much, much less, because we are able to... it's a much smaller island. So that means, honestly, Zara will probably take this. And if she does, we're going to be ready for it, because I am going to go ahead and go to war with them, if that is the case. So, once again, we need to get our guys here. We need to pick up some goods, as many goods as we can. And then we are going to be on our merry way to establish a new island. Here we go. I'm actually going to drop all of that, and then... You know what? I really don't have much in the way of anything else that is useful for them in the moment. Some sardines, but I really don't want to take away the sardines, so we will start that over here on our own. We have 100 wood and 100 timber, rather, so I'm not concerned. As we wait for that to happen, I am going to go ahead and bump up my charcoal production. And there's a big reason for that, because We are going to need charcoal for a lot of things coming up. And I do want to make sure that we have enough for everyone, for all of the different production cycles. So this is going to be a very, very simple drive there so that we can establish a warehouse. And I am going to go ahead and start another production here. So again, we're going to need 2 of these guys. Of course, I was 1 off, but we're also building diagonally in this instance, so it wasn't going to work anyways. There we go. Very nice. And so that's going to allow us some more tile production, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. So I'm not super concerned. It's also going to allow a good buildup of charcoal. Awesome. We got that taken care of. We are running a little bit low on Libertas workforce, and I think we're also kind of at the maximum of being able to hit some of these areas in terms of density. So I am going to start building out a little bit to be able to cater to that a little more. We have a little more room for expansion here, although not a ton. And then, you know what, today, what I haven't done in a while, and it shows just how long it's been since I've done some of these things on the channel, is I used to do some cool time lapses for all sorts of things. So we're going to get back into time lapses in terms of keeping these areas decorated. We've done a good job of decorating these areas, but I would like to get into it a little bit more. What kind of cosmetic tool we got here? Oh ho ho, we could get different skins.
Make a lot of money selling bread.
That's actually really cool. I would love to see how many more skins we have. I like that. That's a cool little feature. A little random. And now we can totally get to here. It should be significantly cheaper, 18,700, yes. Awesome.
Your confidence knows no bounds.
All right, so they can only take on 75 right now. Well, we will use all of that up. But what I do want to get done is I do want a couple of timber things to make sure that we at least have some good establishment there. So I don't have to be concerned about it. There we go. We will simply... Oh, gross. They are not aligned. I do have to align these just from personal preference. And there we go. Awesome. Now, will I probably cut into this? I will a little bit. We can adjust that if I need to. Yeah, that's really going to cut into it. So let's go ahead and adjust these guys. It's not an issue at all. I'm okay with 96%. I'm not going to min-max the holy flipping crud out of this. All right, cool. So we do have some wood going on here. We do need to connect this to the mainland, or to our main area over here. And what I'm going to do is I am simply going to build this a little bit tighter and not give myself quite as much space as the last one, as our main island. And that's simply because we don't have the space like we did in our last one. Hello? Okay, there we go. And so we just simply can't. We need to use our space a little more wisely. Now, I will still do this same setup because it does work. It is efficient. It allows for some beautification and kind of, in my opinion, min-maxes all of the best benefits of a housing sector. Basically, what I want to make sure we do in this moment right off the bat is we establish our place through and through. So we're going to do all of the same Libertas stuff that we do in the beginning of everything. We can see here we actually hit everyone with this, and we hit almost everyone with this. And that's enough for me to be okay with. Like, I'm not going to, again, min-max. We're going to start a couple areas there. We are going to extend ourselves over here and get some porridge going, because I know how important it is to get the porridge. And we're actually going to go ahead and go with 2 of these, just so you know. And the only reason for that is simply to kind of take up make sure I have enough to kind of future-proof, and we can even export it in the future. So it just allows us to really focus on all the things that we need for our people in the moment. There we go. Cool. So that should give them everything that they need. We can go ahead and shove all of that off.
There is a shortage of workforce in one of your cities.
I understand, and it will get there very quickly. Don't you worry your little heart out, good sir. And so now we have that established. We do need to continue to connect. We're not going to do anything super crazy wonky. I just simply need... I do love it. I do love that. It looks even a little more natural than it would otherwise. And now we can start bringing in all of the goods here because everything is connected. I'm not worried about it. We can establish a patron god here. And in this case, we are actually going to stick with Ceres. And the reason why we're going to stick with Ceres is because she does olive oil and olives. And while she doesn't do anything else, porridge and oats is at least we're making that. So it's going to be beneficial to us. And there's no other god here that we can worship that would boost that. So we are going to set the patron god here. Devotional research is now available, so we've unlocked something, one of those nodes I was talking about. Devote 2 cities to a single patron and generate at least 500 knowledge. Awesome. We can build 1 more shrine on any of our islands. We have the Hippocratic Core, which gives us more patrols, and a happiness effect for Day Watch for the Custodes. Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. We'll go research that. That is brilliant. I love that to death. And now as the sun sets over our gorgeous little horizon, we can kind of just chillax here for a minute. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really fantastic. I do love it. I do love the little seaside village we've gone and created out of thin air. Also, big props to the developers. I love the how the buildings really do work well going up into the hillside. I think that's essential for a good level of immersion, and it looks fantastic in the Roman setting without a doubt. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, so we have that established. There's no warehouse in range just because you're not connected. So we have that started. We now have 44 Libertas workforce, and we need to see what it takes to do all of this. So for one, this takes plebeians. These all take plebeians, not to mention some charcoal. So we will need a charcoal burner. However, it at least doesn't take anything for an olive grower. Oh, one thing I did forget. We are going to go ahead and make this area kind of our starting spot for a lot of things. I am going to drop one of those, and then once again we can take advantage of those guys. Does he have range? He does have range, so he will get there. And then that's going to allow us to be able to get our plebeians, which is very much necessary for this in order to make any of the other things that we want. And what we can actually do is, oh, I forget that's 10. We do that on purpose because it's the best kind of min-max situation. But it does create a little bit of finagling. There we go. Now, admittedly, we'd be best suited to build another thing right there, which we will do. And that's just going to give us our best boost to allow us to then be able to have Libertas as well as plebeians to get our workforce in order. All right. In the meantime, over on our main island, we do need to build some ships. We're going to build a civilian ship to work on a trade route. But I do want to build a Legio ship as well, because that will allow us to engage in warfare. So that's going to be super helpful for us. I'm looking forward to it. We've already done the patron god. What are we doing here? Trade treaty with Arrival and Tarragon's Troubles. We're not going to worry about the missions in the moment. I don't truly, honestly care about them. Meanwhile, though, we are working on our latrines. Great, because we are seeing a rather large health issue. And so, in quite literally a few seconds, awesome, latrines have been unlocked. And again, just like with all of our other buildings that we've been unlocking, these are going to provide little boosts to their respective practices. that is going to allow us to get out of the potential death trap that we were setting ourselves up for and work on all of the health things. Sweet. All right, we can go ahead and upgrade those.
There are signs of public unrest.
Oh, really? We have no unrest. The people are happy. I'm sorry.
As it appears,
It is, but I'm not going to allow it to happen. Like, come on. Do I have a custodes anywhere? That's the big thing. I don't have a custodes over here. And so we are going to build a custodes. I do wonder, can I squeeze that? Nope, I'm not going to have enough space there. That's okay. We're going to build it right like that. That's going to boost as well. And then we're going to have our patrolman. That's right. We won't tolerate this madness. Go after him and beat him up. Beat him up.
What's the plan? No.
Alright, well in the meantime, while those guys are rioting, we are going to have a slight shortage of Libertas workforce. Which is a bit frustrating, but it's okay. Nothing we can do about it. My tanneries are not working well. Where are my tanneries? I'll be real honest with you. I don't know where those guys have gone. So we lack leather. But we are making a good amount of sandals. So I guess it all works out. Let's take a look at our supplies here. We're being 100% productive. So I don't know why. Again, we get our boosts here because of our devotion to series. Over here we're doing good too. Okay. Well, we're all right. It's not a hindrance to our production by any definition of the term. So we'll be good. Now, we can see also that Zara has taken over. She's already established a barracks. Good grief, lady. We are going to go to war with her, though. This is the guy that I can handle. It's Zara that I think she's going to overwhelm me with. And plus, I think we'll be able to get a treaty with this dude by the end of the episode. So I think we'll be right as rain there. All right, we're missing goods. That's okay. We're making everything there as well, so I'm not concerned on that front. Depots has been researched. We are perusing through this stuff. It's a bit crazy, but I do love it. So what we can do now is we can totally go over into here, and we can start working on our olive oil production. Now again, olive oil is 2 minutes to produce one, which means if we want one every minute, we want 2 of them. But then the olive press is 1:30. So I think, again, in my brain, and it may not be the best brain, we need 3 of these olive growers and 4 of these to match production on a scale that makes sense. I think that's correct. There's no warehouse in range. Come on. Come on, dude. You gotta match your houses up. And so what we can do is we could cross the river and do this production. Again, we're not going to take use of these mountain slots. We could bring our over there, or what I really kind of want to do is I really want to bring in this idea. This is a very much 100% an aesthetic ordeal that I am talking about right now than anything else. But I do love the idea of like the village being over here and being able to just like actively take part in the growing of all the goods. Oh man, we don't even have enough space. Can I push past that? No, I can't. Oh, darn it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna revise this just a wee bit. We kind of have this immersive idea that we are quite literally using every square inch of the ground, and we have some really gorgeous little olive fields going on. So I like it a lot. So we have 2 of those, which are going to make 1 every minute. Is that correct? Technically 1 every minute, I think. And so we do need to do this. And once again, we are offering some great services to the people of this tiny little town. We're going to offer some health benefits across the board. Now, I know there's a plebeian workforce shortage because there are no plebeians here. And that can change immediately. because, well, we should. I guess we are waiting to get people to level up. And then let me go ahead and put a warehouse there so these people can get stuff. Now, again, we're missing the workforce here, which isn't a problem. We're about to get it. All right, finally, we are here. And boom, quite literally, just like that, we now have a plebeian workforce that can start taking on the old olive press.
From the Lady Diana era. She
All right, we'll talk to her in just a little bit. I'm not super concerned about her right now. And then yes, that opens up a whole new can of worms in terms of what we need to provide and what we can't provide, but it's all good. I'm not super concerned about it. This is enough to at least jumpstart our olive production. In fact, we could probably go ahead and min-max just a little bit and provide a couple more areas, maybe like right here. I like the idea of olive stuff being over, looking out right over the sea. So the idea here is that we can get production heavy enough to where we can provide everything. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do one more of each. There's no one that hasn't been kind of covered by this, so I'm not concerned about that. I am just going to go ahead and place that right there. So if we do expand over into here, we'll be pretty good. And then that olive production is going to be really good for us. All right, so what we have here is we have created a few ships, just a few. And what we are going to end up doing is we have plenty of stuff here. We honestly have plenty of sheep here as well. Some Peleus on top of it. I'm kind of wondering if we shouldn't... Sardines will be covered for a good while. We could build a couple more tunic spaces. Simply to satiate that demand. Is there an optimal area that we could do this to take advantage of it? There is a good spot right here, and they will be able to hit that, so that's fine too. Now, what we need to do, I can't guarantee tunics, and plus they're already, well, I guess tunics is not what's there. What's being satiated is actually the Peleuses, which is fine. But what we want to start doing is we want to establish a trade route. So we're going to take over here to trade routes. We're going to hit Brixia. We're going to actually establish a new trade route, excuse me. We are going to add the Navigia, the Sea Nymph, or the Hippocampus. This is a civilian ship. They need to have a distinction here between what these are. You see, the Sea Nymph and the Hippocampus are warships, whereas this one isn't. But it's not super obvious. So we're going to do this between that and the Niasis. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to say, hey, we don't actually want that. I want... In Brixia, we are going to load up... I mean, we could do... Well, Porridge is already there. The Peleus is already going to be there. Let's do... I don't want 50. We're going to do... Let's just say 25. I am also going to load up... Not 50 sandals. I'm going to do 25. And then lastly, I do think we could probably go ahead and start unloading some tiles. And in this case, I'm going to actually say, well, no, I'll do that manually. We don't need tiles consistently across the board. We could definitely do our own purchase there, over there onto those people. Outside of that, I don't really think there's anything else. We could do some garum. Let's do some garum just to satiate that population, but we'll only do 15. And that's all 3. Now we're going to select Niasis. We are going to unload those goods, and then we are going to load our own goods, and our goods are going to be olives. Now, we won't be able to generate more than 50 olives at any given time, which is fine. But right now, that's all we can do. And it says some has errors. This good is never unloaded. That's because we need to click back on Brixia, and we need to unload the good. And then it will reset. It'll pick up those 3, unload them, get the olive oil, and do that. We are going to establish that route, and that route will happen automatically. There you go. You see it has picked it up. And we are going to be right as rain. Now, we are also running a little low on garum. So it may be that we need to add garum, more garum into our diet to make this work. Now again, we are running rather low on all of the Libertas workforce people. And so what I'm actually going to do here is I am going to build an Acium, or an Officium. I'm going to build it, honestly, right here is probably the best spot for it. Nope, right here is going to be good. Now it is kind of in the middle of nothing, so there is that. But I'm going to build our Officium. And I am going to remove him and put him over there. You'll remember this guy. He adds workforce from residents. And so what I'm curious about is if that is just an area of effect within here. Well, then it should add a lot more Libertas population up into here, but it doesn't appear that it is. So we'll have to see if that's something that's intentional or if I'm doing something wrong, etc., etc. Regardless, we do need more Libertas people in our area, so we're going to work on that just real quick. All right, so we are at a city level 5. We are now at an imperial city, and we are going to start seeing a lot of issues pop up. This is not going to be great, I'll say that. And it is simply that it becomes unmanageable to try and keep island fire safety where it needs to be, as well as the Officium or the Custodia, things of that nature. Now we can certainly optimize. See, like 19 buildings, that's not a good lot, but that is going to reduce that by quite a bit. And then again, we could start working on our latrines for some of those localized elements that we really should take on. I don't think I can even get a road back here, but I can certainly put a latrine here. We can get a latrine over in this sector. And there you go. We've at least combated the issue. And the same can go again for the for the watchtowers. This is the best way you're going to be able to handle all of the issues that we are having inside of our massive cities. And it's going to work. It works. It works well enough. All right, so we have all of our stuff going on. We have all of that. We are moving our guys over into here. They are generating a decent amount of olive oil. I'm not displeased with the amount of olive oil they're working with. And then over here, we're finally getting enough people to work on our Libertas, and that's going to allow us to do our last step. Not for the episode per se, but certainly for the last big milestone I wanted to reach, and that is with these guys. So just like that, thankful for the workforce that we have, because we can just immediately go in and have our entire setup ready to go in literally a single click. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do this instead, because I don't like that being there. I'm saving this space for some of the bigger things we might get to later on in the game, because I know we will get to them. We shouldn't have any delay in loading. That shouldn't be a thing that happens. I honestly don't know where those people are going. And honestly, it looks like it's on fire. Okay, good, it's not. So did this, but it's not. All right, cool. We got that up and running. That's going to allow us to get our goods in. And then, well, my word, we still need more Libertas. And this is why we need more Libertas, is because I do also want to build a barracks. A barracks is going to allow us to establish our authority and keep it in check. Keep other factions in check, rather. So we need to build... Why are you being wonky? There we go. I think we can establish a nice little fort right here. Now, admittedly, we won't have the fort element figured out because it's too big, or it's too costly in terms of wood. I do wish they would nerf that. But for now, we are simply going to establish where at least a couple of our barracks are going to go that we can use to invade in the near future. So I do want them just a little bit offset. There we go. And we can see here that we can't really utilize them. It does take too much Libertas, so we do need to work on getting more Libertas in our workforce to be able to handle that. Now, we do have, quite literally, just this whole expanse over here that I just might tap into. But I'm not going to tap into it for now. And I can't really add another good woodworking thing to be able to reach. Not without being relatively detrimental to the production of coal. Which honestly, charcoal isn't that bad right now. We're going to do it. It is suboptimal. I will say that. It is quite suboptimal. But we'll still be okay. Alright, so we have that. We have our religion. Our religion is giving us a 40% productivity boost in Brixia to all of the things here. Which is great. That's to porridge, bread, olive oil we don't really need quite as much. Now we could switch that over to Mars at any point if we wanted to. I honestly have thought about doing it here so that way we could get our garum up. But we don't have anything else, and that's not super beneficial, in my opinion. Now, that isn't bad. What does Ceres give us here? Oh, population +1. No, we're definitely gonna work on that. That's good for us. And then we're almost to 1,000 people to be able to build a shrine to Ceres, which I do believe costs a good amount of dough as well as concrete. So we're not quite there yet. We're not. And we have other things we need to focus on. Let's focus on our knowledge real quick, because we have a lot of things we can work on here. For instance, I can get legionnaires. Offers us a treaty. That's exactly what we wanted. So we have legionnaires now, which I imagine would take plebeians and not Libertas, whereas the Libertas here would definitely be the Libertas that we know. Let's go... Torching speed, I think, would be really good. Morale and toughness, and then an armor chain to see how that works for us. All right, and then he offers us a treaty. The trade treaty is great. We have signed that. It's great. We don't need to worry about these, because we can now purchase things from him. Lots of good things. So we could even purchase olives if we wanted to. We could purchase lavender if we wanted to. And we could also sell things to him as well. That's going to be really beneficial. And my curiosity is piqued in that we only need a small civilian vessel. But I am wondering if our production is enough to sell sardines and sandals consistently in order to use that and create a trade port from it. Awesome. So we do have our third tier of person. I'm not ready to do it yet. I don't want to, because it's slightly terrifying. But one of the things that I did mention that I was going to do was I was going to beautify things up. So we are going to do that. We're going to take a little bit, we're going to time lapse it up, and I am going to simply beautify a lot of the empty spaces in these parks and areas so that we can make things look even just a little bit nicer. All right, well, we have beautified a few things up, which I think looks really good. It's a little bit scattered, potentially a little bit random, and honestly, it does look a little bit awkward simply because we don't have the roads unlockable yet. So it does look a little strange considering all of the tiles and things of that nature here, but not anything that can really be done about the roads until we unlock that element of it, and we just can't unlock that element of it right now. So there's nothing we can do. However, we have experienced some disease. And as a result, the Medici are starting to work on that and to tend to the sick. It's okay. We will make it through, I promise. But it is a little bit intense right now. We are still experiencing a Libertas shortage as well, simply because we are using up all the things. And we need to expand even more over to here. So I'm going to go ahead and build a few more. Maximize what our space that we can. They can hit, they are not hit. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Believe you me, I am very well aware of the risks of this city in particular. I was hoping to be able to satiate it, but I just don't think it's possible. Like, I genuinely don't believe you're supposed to be able to handle it. I think you're supposed to be able to counter anything that does happen. I kind of think that's the direction that this is supposed to go with this sort of thing. Is you're not supposed to be able to end it. You can simply be able to have services everywhere that can counter those. So that's kind of my goal with it, is to counter, because that's all I really can do. We're going to continue to build a small string of people here. And then hopefully, I mean, you can see they're instantly satiated. And they're satiated quite literally as much as they can be. So we are going to get a nice little bump there, but it's not going to be enough to really do a whole lot. We need to be able to repair that damage, but it's not working. Sometimes it is a little finicky in what it allows you to be able to repair, if it even considers that thing to be repaired. So there is a little bit of a glitch in the matrix there, as it were, but it's all well and good. All right, so we are actually a decently well-functioning machine at the moment. We have another Pentaconter, and this is where I'm going to see real quick if we can open up another trade route. So I want to get a trade route going. I want to use the Unbound Titan. We're going to select Brixia. I am going to load a small amount of shoes. Like 15. And we actually don't even have the mackerel to be able to... Or the sardines. Oh, we don't even have sardines. These are mackerels. Oh, there we go. There's sardines. I was like, I swear we had some sardines. We'll do 15 there as well. So we're going to go to this man's harbor. We are going to sell those goods. And then I want to pick up... What do I want to pick up? You know what? Honestly, I could pick up lavender and then do soap in-house. And I could honestly do the same for olives if I wanted to. Let's do a little bit of lavender. I don't want 50 lavender. We're going to do 20 lavender at a time. And then I'm going to unload that good. We're going to establish that trade route. And that should automate a lot of his demands and things of that nature. Yeah, 20 is good. That makes sure we aren't hemorrhaging anything. And then we could honestly get into soap production, which soap is going to provide population and health. So that's really good. Unfortunately, I can't do lavender on here. Health actually decreases there. So we don't want any of that nonsense. We do want to go ahead and start working on it though. So what does this mean? This means one pig farm requires 2 renderers and 2 soap makers, which isn't bad. I'm actually going to modify this trade route. I would like you to purchase 30 at a time. Yes, I do want to save. Okay, cool. So we need 1 pig farm, 2 renderers, and 2 soap makers. All right. Now that is going to decrease some happiness. It's going to cause some fire safety issues. Again, I don't think there's anything we're supposed to be able to do to counter it. I will say our unhappiness and our health is pretty bad. I do think there are some things I can help there. Yeah, we're missing whole sections of our city that can be reached with this stuff. There we go. We've at least countered that. This at least does something. It does something, and that's what matters. But now we're out of tiles, so we aren't going to be able to do what I wanted to do in the first place. That's fine. We're going to get 2 soap makers. I can't squeeze that well. There's our 2 soap makers. Where is the closest warehouse? That's a close warehouse. Is that going to reach? Yeah, that'll more than reach. Okay, cool. We'll work on that there, and then we are going to work on our pig farm. And there we have it. So we got that rolling. Did we already sell here? We didn't sell, but I do want to see to make sure that it does work right. So we're going to head over yonder. Awesome. That works. One of our trade routes has a minor issue. You know what? That's fair. We're going to cancel that part. Garum was great to have, but it's not essential for over here. And we'll be all right without it. Now I do have space for 1 single spot over here. Oh, I don't even have enough for that. That's okay. We'll be able to build it in just a minute. Actually, we could even request it. I don't know. I want a minimum of 10. And we'll see what happens there in the very near future. But that worked. So we have 2 trade routes now. We now have Zara, who is taking over everything under God's green earth. Why? Why would you do such a thing? And how can you afford such luxuries is what I want to know. Because I still can't afford even the most basic of my people right now. Like, I can't even afford a single troop of soldiers. And that is, quite frankly, outrageous. I have aestheticked up my city. Thank you very much, good sir. Your comments are irrelevant. And now I have enough for at least an auxilia. So we're going to do that. We've unlocked the Shrine of Ceres. Once again, I can't do anything about that at the moment. But what I can do is I can go ahead and build a couple more Legios. Actually, that's going to cause a shortage, isn't it? It probably is going to cause a shortage. That's okay. But you know what? We're actually doing semi-okay. There's the shrine. It needs concrete. I can't build concrete right now. I imagine that is a tier 3 stat. And I think with the final little smidge of this episode, I think we're going to go ahead and unlock them. The Eques. My word, look what all they have to have satiated. Sweet mercy. That's exciting though. These are absolutely gorgeous. A request from the Emperor, 109. I'm not going to be able to. On failure, yeah, I don't have 109. Actually, I could probably purchase 109 tons of tiles if I'm being honest. We've met the Emperor. Oh, we could go into Albion if I choose to. Very limited of the Empire, you choose to impose the Roman template by forced or softened to local ways. Nice. I'm not going to settle Albion yet. Not one bit. I'm not going to worry about different provinces. We are simply going to keep things here. I do want to take a quick look at them, though. We have wine, which we can actually make in-house, which is great. So we need, I say in-house, on the island, which requires concrete. Concrete requires a limestone quarry, which apparently we can get, right? I don't know, do different islands have limestone? It doesn't appear so, which is good for us. Limestone and then a sand. So that's not a bad thing either. And a concrete mixer. All right, very nice. Very, very nice. We've unlocked a lot of things today. And then we also have cheese. What does cheese require? Cheese requires ox farms and a dairy, which we can't even do in Latium, which means we are being forced to move along. And then we need a lot of aqueducts. Oh my word, we can start building aqueducts. I'm so excited. And this is where we counter things. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So your aqueduct cistern has an area health a +3 and an area effect of fire safety +3. So that's going to help your health and get your stuff under control. I love it. I absolutely love it. What are we ready to do? Are we ready to kind of call it a day? I kind of think I'm ready to call it a day. I do want to go ahead and get my Legionnaires, or my Auxilia rather, out so we can see what they look like. And then last but not least, I do think I want an encampment. Reduces workforce requirement and speeds up healing. And that can kind of go in front of all of these things. Nice. The Day Watch should allow us our happiness to increase as well. And we're in a really good spot. Lots of money. I do need a lot more plebeians, but we'll work on that in the next episode, perhaps expanding all the way out into this area for a whole new batch of fun and excitement that I'm ready for, and I hope you are too. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed the series. If you have, be sure to let me know by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and of course, leaving your comments in the comment section down below. This is great. I absolutely love this. I hope you are enjoying it too. And yeah, we will continue with the series as much as we can, as much as I can squeeze it into the schedule, because it is a very busy time of the year. But I hope you guys are looking forward to it just as much as I am. Thank you so much for watching. This is Havoc. I'll see you in the next one.